Hey guys, what's going on? There's a couple of big stories this past week in the crypto markets. The first one is that Genesis, the big lending organization, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Now they are reporting that there are about 100,000 creditors that have almost $11 billion of claims against the organization. This decision to file for bankruptcy comes after the SEC filed claims against both Genesis and Gemini. As many of you know, Gemini and Genesis have been fighting it out in public because Gemini had taken about $900 million of their customer funds and lent them to Genesis, but Genesis got caught in all the contagion from the lending across the crypto markets. We'll continue to watch that story, but if we fast forward to see someone else who's already in bankruptcy, there's a story out on FTX and John Ray, who's the new CEO, who claims that they found up to $5 billion of crypto assets. And they also are considering restarting the exchange. Now, this shouldn't come as a surprise to many people. FTX was a big business that had a lot of revenue, and it seemed to be a heralded asset in the crypto ecosystem. But John Ray and the current team don't exactly know how to run a crypto exchange, and so it'll be interesting to see how much they'll be able to restart and whether they really will try to make it all back by simply turning on the exchange. A third story from this week was that the DOJ, the SEC, and many other law enforcement organizations and regulators came together to create a new enforcement action on a little-known exchange called Bitslato. That exchange is now alleged to have money laundered over $700 million, which is a big number. But this came as a surprise to the crypto community because not a lot of people had ever heard of this exchange, nor did they realize that it had nearly this much volume to be able to siphon off $700 million through money laundering schemes. Next up, Jamie Dimon, everyone's favorite bank CEO. He was at Davos and he said that Bitcoin was a hyped up fraud, which doesn't make a lot of sense. And it shows that maybe some of the large banks and their executive teams still do not understand how exactly this technology works, nor what the potential future promise of it is. But on the other hand, we also had Bank of America, another large bank, come out and say that they believe that stablecoins are the future of payments and money. But not just any type of stablecoin. Bank of America specifically is zeroing in on central bank digital currencies, which don't yet exist, but central banks seem to be very interested in. And so, if we zoom out and we look at the week in crypto, we can see that the legacy banks, they're all confused. They actually are taking different approaches. Jamie Dimon thinks that Bitcoin isn't worth anything. It's a hyped up fraud. Bank of America believes that CBDCs are going to be the future. And at the same time, law enforcement and regulators are coming down hard on various crypto exchanges that they're accusing of doing negative things. And then there are multiple organizations that are either already in bankruptcy or now are beginning to enter that Chapter 11 court proceeding. Ultimately, the crypto market is in chaos, and we will continue to see the fallout from FTX and many of the other things that transpired in the second half of the year. But as we know, Bitcoin continues to produce block after block after block of transactions, and it seems like many of the investors, the operators, the employees, and the market participants across crypto remain as bullish as before. That's it for this week. I'll talk to you guys next week.